Say, have you seen Sandy?
No, sorry.
She said she was feeling crook and she said she'd go and lie down for a while.
Yeah, well, she will eat the tucker they lay on in here, won't she? You tried looking in her cell?
Of course I have. She's not there and nobody's seen her since she left the rec room.
Oh, don't worry, love. She'll turn up.
No, I'm real worried about her. Because Mari and her thug mates have disappeared too.
Oh, good, oh, the less we see of them, the better.
Well, don't you reckon it's funny that they've all vanished together?
Well, maybe they all whispered the same magic word at the same time. Now, are you going to let me finish my book before lights out?
Crikey, Bea, what's wrong with you? Sandy could be in real trouble and you don't give a stuff.
Sandy can look after herself, or haven't you noticed?
Yeah, but if she's feeling funny or something and they all gang up on her...
Well, if you're so worried about her, what are you doing mucking about here? There must be somewhere you've missed looking.
Well, thanks for nothing. I suppose you'll be real sorry when I get my other arm in plaster.
She will be if we can't get this flaming thing off. Go and get some help.
I'll have to have a chat to Meg about overtime. Suppose she's in charge of that now.
No, sooner you than me.
What's going on here, Winter?
I ran into a door, didn't I?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You've been fighting.
Come on, Winter, what happened?
I told you.
You don't expect us to believe that.
I got a very sensitive nose, Miss Conway. You just got to touch it, it's like turning on a flame and tap, blood everywhere. Been like that since I was a kid.
What's the matter, Burns?
Oh, you got to come straight away, Mr. Faulkner.
God,
It's been an accident. I can't bring it around.
get out of the way, Smith.
Is there anything I can do?
I think you've done enough already, don't you?
Heck, you don't think we had anything to do with it, do you, Mr. Faulkner?
We just walked in here and found her
Shut
lying.
up, both of
Yeah.
you. Come on.
Oh, she's alive.
Thank God for that.
Good heavens. Is she going to be all right?
Yeah, I think so.
You never change, do you?
Miss Conway, we didn't have anything to do with this.
We were just going to the loo.
To hold each other's hands. And I suppose that towel just twisted itself in the rope.
We've got to get her to the hospital.
Oh, well, I'll get a stretcher. Now, you two will end up in solitary. Mrs. Davidson will have a lot to talk to you about.
How are you feeling this morning, Edwards?
Like I've been kicked in the head by a mule.
You had a very lucky escape.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're ready to tell us exactly what happened.
It was nothing, Mrs. Davidson.
You nearly died last night. Do you call that nothing?
Well, let's just say it was between me and some of the other women. Nothing to do with the screws.
Edwards, whatever happens in this prison concerns me and the officers. I want an explanation. You must tell me for your own sake. If you don't, how are we going to prevent it from happening again?
You can't, whether you know who did it or not.
Mr. Faulkner, I would like you to fetch Smith and Burns from solitary and bring them to my office. Perhaps they can throw some light on this unfortunate affair.
Right, Mrs. Davidson.
Mrs. Davidson, you're making a very big mistake there.
I beg your pardon?
Doreen and Bea didn't have anything to do with it at all.
Then who was involved? I do not understand your attitude. A woman nearly died last night. Somebody must know something.
There's nothing we can tell you, Mrs. Davidson.
Cannot or will not, Smith.
We were just going to the loo when we saw Sandy lying there.
I do not accept that explanation. I understand you looked as though you'd been in some sort of scuffle yourself, Burns.
Yeah, well, do you think I'm going to go after another one of these?
We're sorry about what happened to Sandy, but all we did was walk in, find her, and call for help.
Very well. As you are obviously not going to cooperate, I shan't waste any more of my time. Wait outside. I take it you haven't been able to get anything out of the other women.
We gave Winter a thorough grilling last night, and the same thing, nothing.
It doesn't surprise me.
I still think Burns had something to do with it.
She'd definitely been fighting. She's been in a lot of trouble lately. And then there was her attempted escape.
Well, the Barnhurst business was never explained, but this is different. With women like Smith and Winter in the vicinity, I don't believe for one moment that Burns was the instigator.
Well, what do you want us to do?
Well, I think it would be better to keep Burns away from their influence. She can work in the maternity ward for a while.
Do you think that's wise?
Oh, yes, I do. She's always been very good with children. It might have a beneficial effect.
What about the others?
Well, as no one is talking, I suggest you keep a very close watch on Edwards, Winter, and Smith. I want to find out what caused this problem before there's another incident, with perhaps more tragic consequences.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare.